Welcome back to Underrated Movies. I'm your guy, I'm your man, Mr. Alton Henry. Today I'm going to talk to you of another film that I believe is severely underrated. Currently on Netflix. And I think it also released in theaters for briefly, and it didn't do too well. And well, despite what everybody else thinks, I thought this was an amazing action thriller. In fact, this is probably one of my favorite films on Netflix, a Netflix original. Triple Frontier, starring Oscar Isaac, Ben Affleck, Gariant uh, Hoolant, Hooland, um, Charlie Hunnam, Pedro Pascal, and it's a story of ex-Marines, now turned mercenaries, go to South America to infiltrate and steal millions of dollars of cash from this drug dealer, and then they try to make it back to the states alive. Simple premise. And I'm gonna tell you, this is one of the best Netflix originals. I can't stand that this film got hated. And what I really enjoyed about this film, and I don't know much about Marine tactical military um, tactics, which is something I would like to look into. What I really liked about this film and really enjoyed was how realistic and how much the film didn't feel Hollywoodized. What I mean by that, it felt like I didn't see a lot of tropes or cliches that you would normally see in a film like this. And this is actually a pretty dark and serious movie. And it's not a fun film. I mean, you can have fun with it, but for me, that's all subjective. What do you define as a fun action flick? Yeah, maybe Transformers, but this one, it's a serious kind of action film. More of a heist film. More of a heist film. The action kind of comes and goes, but more along the lines when it comes and goes, it doesn't force heavy combat sequences. The action kind of just happens and then it doesn't force itself. And that's what I really liked about it. Not to keep audiences entertained because of the action, but it's more about the story and the characters and then just everything that kind of goes along with the film. Um, the action doesn't necessarily sell it. It's just more of the premise, which I thought this is a pretty cool premise. It reminds me kind of like Three Kings, but more of a serious matter of of um, of this film. And the trailer, where it kind of advertised Ben Affleck as the lead, even though his name pops up on the credits, and he's the most well-known star out of all the actors. His character doesn't necessarily lead the story. Oscar Isaac is the one that leads it. Moon Knight. He leads the story. It's his mission. It's his idea to kind of meet his ex-comrades from the military to he brings up a proposal to help his buddies out and also to help him out to assassinate a bad guy while also trying to make some money illegally. And oh man, this movie was great. This was a blast. Like it's not anything deep. It's not anything anything I guess you haven't seen before, but I think it's like more of a somewhat of an original take of a heist flick of military personnel deciding to better their own financial situations by going to overseas to steal some money. The characters are relatable, likable, and this is what I really like about with this film, especially when it comes to Ben Affleck's character. And when you'll see it when you watch the movie, his character is probably the most desperate. Once you learn more about his character, you even see how desperate he's become. But they didn't. What I liked is that they didn't force his character to make him too desperate to where it would follow into like a cliche route where you have a character like that, he would usually sometimes become the bad guy. And in a way, in this film, these guys are kind of bad because they're doing a bad thing. They don't force his character to be like selfishly bad, even though they pull it back. I mean, as the movie goes along, he does do certain things in there where, and when he does it, okay, spoiler, the movie's been out a little bit. Yeah, it's the kind of vibe you get once he does something, certain things that's very questionable. It's that kind of impression you get. He's gonna get it. It's the kind of impression you get where he's like, yeah, he's gonna get it. But he plays it so well, but not to where it's like they have his character fall into like a cliche route. I'm glad they didn't do that with his character. Um, Charlie Hunnam and Gary Delahunt, um, they play brothers, and actually they're very good. Charlie Hunnam's actually underrated. I know people actually kind of get. I remember people were talking crap about him that Charlie Hunnam, that I think they feel like he's been oversaturated, or they try to get him to be like that. I guess A-list actor. He's a cool actor. I mean, I don't know about his diverse work. I haven't seen Sons of Anarchy, but the stuff that I've seen him in, especially here, he shines. I think he shines very well in this film. Um, Even Pedro Pascal. I mean, there's other roles that I'm sure he's done that he's he was the standout. But to hear this is more of Oscar Isaacs and I think a little bit of Ben Affleck's movie. But I'm glad that just from watching the film, I don't like. I feel like every character in this film kind of have a standout moment. But again, it's more with Oscar Isaacs and Ben Affleck. Mostly Oscar Isaacs. He's pretty much the main lead. And as the film plays out, I don't I didn't get the vibe that any like cliche or trope or anything fell into place. I didn't get that vibe with that. This filmmaker I feel like he had the creative control to tell the story that he wanted to tell, and I believe he succeeded. And I thought the action sequences were great. I thought the chase scene towards the end, the car chase scene, was one of the best I've seen in a while. Um, a car chase scene in a jungle. You don't normally see that. And it's way better than that exaggerating, god awful Fast Nine or whatever that shit was. Um, that unrealistic freaking movie. I'm sorry. Triple Frontier is a great heist thriller. Um, it's pretty amazing. I really enjoyed it. Like this movie it should have gotten more attention, I think, and I think because of its streaming record, I don't think the film did too well streaming. I mean, it's on Netflix. It's a Netflix original. I think the budget of it was like 115 mil. Maybe they could have trimmed down 30 million out of it. I'm assuming it was had high because of paying the actors. That's what I assume. Because I feel like maybe because they shot on location. I don't know why the budget was that high for a film like that. Yeah, maybe I don't know, but this film was great. Triple Frontier, have you seen it? What you thought about it? Let me know in the comment section below, and let me know what is one of your favorite underrated movies.